Hey there, Leo Sun, Leo Moon, Leo Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move your life forward in the most positive way possible. Today we are going to talk about March 1st through the 19th, which is the mid-season of Pisces. I have to apologize because Mercury in retrograde is definitely glitching up my camera a lot. So we're mostly going to just focus down on the cards and roll with it. There's not much I can do about Mercury in retrograde. So let's just get into it and see what we have here. If you've never seen the 9 card spread before, it'll be set up thoughts, feelings, actions, past, present, future, and the center card is the key to the situation. So for you, Leo, let's see, this half of Pisces season is happening, especially if you're a Leo rising. It's happening in your 8th house of transformation. And this is about, the key to the situation is what makes you feel emotionally satisfied. But it's almost like too much, right? When it's the 9 of Cups, this is the Viceversa deck. And so this is the 9 of Cups. This is about dreaming and wishing for what you have. And this is about maybe being a little bit too caught up in your what's egocentric self is what I'm looking for there. So, but let's just see where this takes us. Interesting. Interesting. You're the first one that's had multiple cards at one spot today. All right, so in the recent past, you've been seeking a lot of knowledge, information about what brings you emotional satisfaction. And so maybe you're finally finding it, and maybe this is a good thing. You know, that you've determined what it is by looking at things in the past and trying to decide where they've taken you and where it is that you want to go with things. So maybe the thing here is in the heart spaces, focusing on what you have already that makes you feel emotionally satisfied instead of feeling like you don't have enough. Being willing to, oh, that's not good. That's, huh? Well, that's good. All right, so, all right. Your overall energy, you have the Lover's card. And this is the Lovers in the upright position. In the reversed, it would look like this. And in this deck, the reversed is sort of like you're looking back over things and you're like, yeah, no, we really made it. This is the card of hope. This is the card of making a decision, of trying to decide what works and what doesn't work for you. So we have the Angel Gabriel, and, you know, the thing is, though, they're both wearing masks. See that? The male, the divine masculine and the divine feminine there, they're wearing masks. And so even though they're joined, oh, this is interesting because at the top we have also a 2 of Cups, but I don't really use that, but it's just interesting that we have this energy here of this situation that has to do with an emotional satisfaction, but are you hiding from somebody? So the Lover's card is about making a choice, a decision that affects the people in your life that you most care about. So it could be about a job. This is, remember, it's transformational energy, so it could be about anything. But it's a major life decision where it's like, what do I want to focus on? What is going to what decision am I making that's going to affect those around me that brings me this emotional satisfaction that I'm looking for? Looking forward here to in the arena of being in control of creating the transformation. We have you showing up there, the Queen of Wands, right? But if you can see, she has her eyes closed, and so she's definitely using her intuition, which is not usually how the Queen of Wands is depicted, but in this case, really feeling into her heart space to what it is she wants to create, to allow her to decide what it is that she wants to do in order to move herself forward. It seems to be a big part of this. And what's interesting is in the arena of action to take right now, we have this 8 of Swords. And again, it's this blindfolded paying attention. Now on the reverse side, you could see that she has one of those swords is actually there and she could cut herself free when she's ready. But I think she's sitting there and waiting to decide what to do in this transformation. So we have this blinded Queen of Wands, which is very unusual. And then we have this Eight of Swords, but she doesn't look like she's in distress. It's more like she is caught up in her own thoughts and she's listening to her intuition. It's almost like she's ignoring the thoughts around her. And when it's time, she will cut herself free. And that doesn't feel icky. Sometimes there's a decision that has to be made, but sometimes when I see the Eight of Swords, it's like they're just caught there, but it feels like it's that pause, that breath, that moment where you're considering what really matters to you. What will fill up those cups? It's not about making the wish for them. It's about deciding what they are. What do they hold? What creates that sense of emotional satisfaction? So that's not bad. In the future, moving forward, we have this getting ready to go in and do battle that maybe you don't want to. This is you being willing to go in and fight for what you want once you've made the decision. Because see, there's 3 wands there, but he's finally picked one. He's got his hands on one, and he's looking toward the future, toward that yin and that yang globe in his hand of where the balance is, and the sun is shining on it. And I think at some point he makes the decision to go. And when he goes forward, I think you know that the way forward is going to be, I think that you're worried about the battle. So here in the area of anxiety, we have this 5 of Wands. It's like there's a lot going on. There's things that you need to go into the battle for. This is on the reverse side. This is really harsh energy, but here it's more like I know I have a lot of things going on, and it doesn't look like it'll be extraordinarily pleasant, but I think you say, once I've made up my mind, I know what I'm doing, I'm willing to go forward and go ahead and figure this out, cut myself free, and allow that to happen. In the recent past, a big obstacle has been the sense of feeling either wanting to feel safe and secure financially, or feeling that way and whatever is going to happen here. Say you're leaving a job or a relationship or something, that financial stability and security that is depicted there in that 10 of Pentacles is the worry and the loss that may not happen for you going forward. Because this is a big decision that affects the people in your life. Absolutely, finances seem to have a big part of this. And here in the area of your heart in the future, this is you being very focused on where it is you're going financially. Like, see how he's staring at what is a value, right? That Pentacles, what is a value? But it feels very, because it's Pentacles, it feels like it's about where in the balance of things there's emotional satisfaction and there's financial security, and how can you kind of put that together and balance that, because there's this need to make a choice, but focusing on what it is that's important to you. And I feel like what's important to you is having that emotional sense of feeling very safe and secure. And what is lovely is that in the area of the anchor of stability, you have the 3 of Cups. And this 3 of Cups, see the flow of the emotional abundance there in the background with the waterfall? And then she's got 3 cups sloshing over, and she has friends around. And so there's this sense of gratitude for the community, for the emotional abundance of that situation. And so I think that you being focused on what really matters to you allows you to make the decision that's most appropriate for you and what you need to do once the time comes. So again, using your intuition. It's using your intuition as what you're supposed to do to bring around the transformation, and here in the spot of action, it's what you're doing. And so this looks very positive. So for guidance, you have take time to reflect, which is what I'm seeing here. Trust your talents in changing times. So this is trusting and depending on yourself, being devoted and committed, and shifting your perception. So this is shifting your perception. This is shifting perception and taking time to reflect. So I feel like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing right now. And this being devoted and committed, I feel like this is being devoted and committed to creating this thing, this making the choice that has to do with you feeling emotionally fulfilled, right? And so trust your talents in changing times. The Queen of Wands is very self-confident, is very self-assured, and knows that she can create what she needs to. I think it's just a matter of discerning what it is that you want to create. However, remember when I said here, this is about being very egocentric and having maybe too much going on? In the area of the heart space, you have moderation. And it says, is there something you know that you shouldn't be eating? Try to eat mindfully and healthfully. Although a little bit of what you fancy is fine. So because it's in the heart space, it's not necessarily about food. It could be about food for some of you. But for most of you, it's like, I want all of my cups filled up. But maybe 3 is enough. 3 very full cups, maybe a little bit goes a much longer way, because here with 3 cups there's this community, and here he's solitary figure all by himself. Sure, he's got everything he wants, he thinks, but he's alone. And so here there's community. So maybe being willing to negotiate, being willing to do the give and the take of the yin and the yang, right? The yin and the yang being balanced. See it right there, the yin and the yang. So finding the balance and making the adjustments, but trust in yourself. And here we have amble with contentment. Waiting rather than acting is going to be the most advantageous right now. Okay, so here we have this pause, this waiting. Here we have this pause, this waiting. Here he's waiting also. So there's this need right now to be paused, to be waiting. And the energy this week, last week or so, with Mars sitting on top of the South Node has definitely created this slowdown, and Mercury in retrograde creates a slowdown. And so that, taking advantage of that and working with the cycles of it and waiting while you're making this decision. The only thing that I'm really, this decision with this masks that they're wearing makes me think that either you shouldn't be showing your hand, and that's okay, or are you being truly and authentically who you are with the people that you care about? And you have to decide which that is. I can't tell from that. So here we have attract a relationship, Rose. So if you are looking to have a relationship that really works, you're going to have to take the mask off at some point. But I don't know that right now is the point. I think right now sitting in being blindfolded and keeping things in moderation and not expending too much energy and allowing this waiting period to pass might be very, very beneficial for you at this point in time, Leo. So looks like you're on the right track. It looks pretty good, actually. Just remember that to stay focused on what really matters to you. What really, really matters. Put your focus on that, and you'll know when it's time to move if you're using your intuition. All right, so looks good. I'll see you in 2 weeks for the season of Aries reading. And until then, you take care, and we'll talk soon.